All right, everyone. Good day. My name is Fashion Michael Olajide. I'm super excited to welcome you to the first broadcast of the Growth Code podcast. On behalf of Fash Media Concept, it's our joy to welcome you to the first edition, like I mentioned, and I believe we have a lot of valuable information to bring your way in 2026. First, I would like to say thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for all the encouragement. Thank you for liking our post. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for recommending. Thank you for cheering us on. Without you, I tell you, the journey will not be as smooth as it is. So today I have with me in the studio a very respected person. I am particularly thrilled and glad to know about the story and what God is doing in his life. And I think it is very necessary for us on this podcast to bring him on board to, hear from him, hear from his expertise as we navigate through our finances in 2026. So today, I'm excited to have with me today, Olajide Ayanwale. It's a very good brother. It's been a long time coming, growing up together in Kwara State and then looking at where he is presently, his journey and everything in between is very not just encouraging, there's God factor and a lot of things. So he's a young man and then he's also a financial expert with one of the financial institutions in Nigeria. We're going to hear more from him today. So I'm going to give him the privilege to do the introduction proper. So thank you so much for joining us once again. Don't forget, on this podcast, we bring you content that can help you to grow, and that is why we name it the Growth Code Podcast, because we believe every step that we take towards personal growth and development is very important, and we do that by inviting guests to come and share their story, their experience, their expertise, and I believe that there are lessons that we're going to glean from today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Ayanwale Olajide. It's so good to have you join us today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Michael. It's a pleasure to be on your platform today.
Yeah.
And I believe it's going to be a very impactful session.
Yeah, I believe. So, all right. I'm going to say what I'm about to say during the course of the conversation. I wouldn't want it to be a one-time thing. So probably we can discuss that, off stage, and then we're going to see how we can work together to ensure that we bring financial education to teeming youth in Nigeria. So for those of my audience, or for those that are watching us that actually do not really know who you are, so beyond finance and insurance, so who is Olajide Ayanwale? I would like you to please tell us who you are so that our audience can get to know you more.
Okay, so of course, you've mentioned my name. So once again, my name is Olajide. So I'm a native of Osun State. Yeah. So I'm a Christian. I'm married by the grace of God.
Amazing.
And majorly, I'm into finance, anything finance. And apart from that, I have another business apart from finance that I run, and that is importing and exporting of local food.
Amazing.
So I think that would do.
That will do, right? All right. Thank you so much. I want to believe that you are not a shy person, so don't worry. I'm going to put words in your mouth, and you're going to talk to us today. So that's very great. I think with that short introduction, your fear should be allayed that you are in good hands, and you're going to be listening to recommendations. You're going to be listening to practical and real life story that can actually transform your finance. All right. So let's get to know you also. I want you to tell us in your free time, what do you do? Let's get to know you more before we get into the core of the conversation. So beyond finance, insurance, and everything that you represent, in your leisure time, what do you do?
Okay, I think you really want to get to know more about me. Okay, so after work, I spend quality time with family. So I love to listen to news, know what's going on in Nigeria, especially at this critical time that politics, economy, financial system is not really stable. So it's good we are abreast of what's going on. So I love to listen to news. And of course, church.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic. I was expecting you're going to mention one or two hobbies apart from watching on or listening to news.
Hobbies, just listening to music, just to relax.
Oh,
Listening to music is good for me.
fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. All right. So before we get to it, like I said, let's talk about the habit that you have cultivated over the years that has helped you in your journey. When you look at your career, when you look at your, your growing up from teen to adulthood, what is that habit that you think has been one of the major pillar to your success so far?
Okay, major pillar to one of my success is number one, God factor. That's number one, God factor. Knowing God at the early stage and aligning my ways, letting God lead me. Letting God lead me, The Bible says, commit thy way unto the Lord and he will direct your path. So I think I've shared on one of your podcasts before
Yeah,
how
yeah,
I was a science student moving to commercial. That is God's
yeah,
leading.
yeah,
And I must say, I used to work in the banking system before. And as God will have it, I moved into insurance. So it has always been God. It has always been God. So God factor is number one. Number one. And when God put that when you have that vision, you have to pursue it without any distraction. So I'm a person of few friends, so no much distractions, always setting my eyes on the goal that, okay, this is what I want to achieve. And what I believe is whatever you start, there may be challenges along the way, but you always get to that destination. It may be longer than you expected, but then you will surely get to that destination. So I remember when I started the journey of becoming a chartered banker. So I planned that, okay, it should take me within 2 years. We have three levels. So I had planned that, okay, two diets in a year. I should be done in 2 years. But then I failed some courses, some modules. I had to rewrite it. But then today it's a testimony. Why? Because I started the journey. I was determined, not allowing myself to be derailed by discouragement or that I failed one course. I should stop along the line. So being determined, remaining focused to achieving that goal. So
yeah.
focus, God, no much distractions. So I think that's
Yeah, that's very fundamental. There's no one that has achieved something significant, without being laser focused. It's been said that when you're focused on your goals, when you're focused on what you do, coupled with God factor that you have mentioned, success is inevitable. So for those of you that are watching, you may have seen the topic of our discussion for today scrolling on your screen, and that is the African youth and money. We actually want to look at how we can avoid the poverty circle. So I'm going to go into the discussion fully now. So, Mr. Olajide, my first question for you as we dive deep into the conversation is that when we talk about poverty circle, what exactly do we mean? I would like you, from your experience and expertise as a finance person, to please educate. We've heard about it, poverty, but I want us to, speak particularly to the youth. You understand, to the youth. So when we talk about poverty circle, what exactly do we really mean by this?
okay. So I would like to start by saying that poverty is not just lack of money. So we must know that poverty is not just about lack of money. It's often a pattern of behavior passed across generations. So it's a pattern of behavior. So it's not just about, oh, there is no money. It's a behavior. It's a behavior. I was looking at some statistics shortly before the start, and I'm going to read it out here. Nigeria is one of the youngest countries in the world, and over 60% of the young people of the population is under 30. and about 62% are under 25. So majorly Nigeria is youth dominant country.
Mm,
But when we look at the pattern of spending, the pattern of finance, the pattern of our way of living,
mm,
it tends to make us remain in that situation where we can say that it's still poverty. So
mm,
poverty is not just lack of money. The money can be there today, but the ability to sustain the money tomorrow, passing it on to the next generation, it's a
mm,
behavior, and that is what poverty is all about.
mm. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. That's remarkable. I'm glad that you actually give us some statistical facts because we're going to be referring to it in the course of our discussion. So, actually, you've partly mentioned one of the questions I want to ask you right now. So, why do you think young Africans struggle financially? And particularly when you look at the elite, those that are educated to some extent, why do we still have, a trend or traces of poverty in their life and or in their lifestyle? Why do you think poverty still persist in the midst? When we make mention of poverty, just like you said, it's actually not lack of money, but when we look at data and figures critically, you realize that sometimes it is more prominent and dominant among those that we call illiterate, so to say. However, there are still a quantum number of people that are educated and they are still within the belt of living, so to say, in poverty. So what do you think are the causes to this?
Okay, so this present generation, we we follow pattern. We look at
Mm,
what others are doing.
mm,
Maybe you are working in an organization now, and your friend, your colleagues, they're already riding car. You know your level of income cannot afford you that kind of car at the moment. But
mm,
one thing that is lacking in this present generation is delayed gratification. Delayed
mm,
gratification. And what is aiding all of this is power of social media. You go on
mm,
Instagram, you see a teenager, someone of 18 years old, 19, riding car, doing birthday party, spraying money. And you somewhere you are working, you just want to be like them. You want to
mm,
show that yes, you are also there. So one of the
mm,
major factor is delayed gratification. I'm still going to refer to a statistic that I have here. It says about 97% are leveraging on fintechs or bank apps in Nigeria. Young people that are using bank apps or onto fintechs, OPay, MoneyPoint, and the likes. But only 23%
yeah.
are using this app for savings. Only 23% are using this app for savings.
Mm,
Look at the gap from 97 to
mm,
23. So how are we handling money?
yeah.
So that means when the money comes in,
Mm,
we'll spend. The ability to hold on to what we have to save is not there. So delayed gratification is a major factor.
wow. Mm, mm. Amazing. Yeah, thank you so much for that. And I think that is actually very factual. We live in a world where the youth tends to want everything instantly. We live at a time where we are pressured by what our colleagues are doing. We actually want to feel among. We don't want to be left behind, and as a result of that, we allow that to affect our spending. Thank you so much for that. So, my next question to you now is that when we look at poverty, just like you said, is it a matter of educational level? Is it a matter of financial level, or is it a matter of mindset? I want you to help us make the clarification properly because in your introduction, you make us to realize that yes, which is very true, that poverty is not just about lack of money. So let's look at the root cause itself. Where exactly can we place it, or is it a combination of all the factors that I've mentioned uh, while asking this question? So let's know your take, please.
Okay, for me, the three the three have a play in this.
Mm,
So the education
mm,
is there, the financial ability is there, And the last one, the mindset. So, and I'm going to pick
Mm.
it one after the other to see how it relates.
Mm.
So, the
Yeah.
education aspects, you may be earning money, you may be earning good pay, you may have good income, maybe weekly, daily, monthly, depending on the nature of your
Oh,
job, the nature of your
think.
business. But when you don't have the
Mm.
education on what to invest on, how to save,
Mm.
some people are very skeptical. I remember when I was in the bank
Mm-hmm.
during the
Mm.
cashless situation in Nigeria.
Policy.
A man came to the bank, came with about 5 million naira. He kept the money for about 6 years at some 5 million naira. By the time the man brought the money to the bank, the money was already getting spoiled. You can imagine keeping 5 million naira at home. If you fix this money somewhere, this money will yield interest. So education is key. Many people are skeptical because of all the what they call now Ponzi scheme. They've invested in the past wrongly anyway. They've invested in the past wrongly. They have been duped, so the fear is there. So when they're educated, they know how to properly invest, what to invest on, how to save their money. They feel safe. So that's the part of education. The mindset, just as I mentioned, some people that delay gratification still come to play here. And it's a thing of behavior. I remember when we were very small, and our parents gave us money, they will ask us, you must save something out of that money. If you are going to school with 20 naira, you must save maybe 5 naira or something out of that money. So the behavior, the mindset that anyone that comes to my hand, a part must go into savings takes a major play. And the third one, which is the financial ability. Yes, the issue of we understand the situation of our country, to really take care of yourself, to manage family, may be challenging when the income is low. When the income is low, and that will take us to thinking outside the box now, not just not just remaining on one particular job. There are other side also that we can do in this present age that will bring us out of that situation. So all of these points are valid, but there are also solutions to bring us out of those situations as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that clarification.
From my end. Hello. Okay, kindly bear with us. I think there is a network challenge. Kindly bear with us. We'll be back shortly. Okay, so he will be joining us shortly. So I just want to read something that I have here prepared while he joins back. The importance of savings. It says savings is not optional, it's foundational to financial security. So, and why is savings very important? Savings will helps you prepare for emergencies. When you create emergency funds, you have preparation in case of maybe medical emergencies, you have savings to cater for that. And it also lay grants, or let me say good grants for investments, business capital, or asset acquisition. And I'm going to explain this. So without savings, you can't say you want to invest, because investing requires you to have money. You are investing money. So if you want to invest, there must be some savings that you are pulling out from to invest. You must be liquid. You must have fun to invest. So savings will help you to. So if you have a target to start investment, let's say you want to go into fixed deposits, you want to start engaging in treasury bills, of course you must start with something. So to achieve this, you must start by saving something. And of course, capital business. You want to start a business and you need partners, you need financial support, financial sponsor. You cannot just present your business proposal. There must be some certain portion of the capital, certain percentage that you'll be bearing, not just that you are going with a proposal without any capital percentage. And asset acquisition, you want to buy land, you want to invest in real estate, this also requires money. So to achieve all of this, saving is critical. Savings is critical. And just as I mentioned earlier, only 23% of young people in Nigeria are using their mobile app for savings. And of course, we cannot say that people are not using the mobile app, people are not saving on their phone. But the real issue is delay gratification, buying things that you really don't need. I have a question on that delay gratification here. I think I put it somewhere. It says delay gratification means choosing long-term benefit over immediate pleasure. Okay,
Yeah, I beg your pardon.
you're welcome.
My network kicked me out. Sorry.
You're welcome.
My network
That's
my
Nigeria.
network actually kicked me out. Very sorry about that. So let's quickly do 2 or 5 more questions before we call it a wrap. And like I said, I believe we can have a part 2 of this conversation. So what are some of the money mistakes that you realize that young professionals made in their career, particularly those that are just entering into their career? So what are some of those mistakes that you have identified that they make? And if you could provide solution to it, that would go a long way for us.
Okay, there is one that is very outstanding because recently, because of where I am presently as a financial consultant, I relate with different categories: the young professional, the middle, and those who are close to retirement. But when you have conversation with young professionals, what they will tell you is, I just got a job, I need to stabilize, I need to put things in place before I start saving, or it's too early. So the mindset of it's too early, I have a long way to go, I have about 30 years before retirement, the money is coming in, why should I save? So it's still a thing of mindset. It's still a thing of mindset for some group of people. And to some people, they will always put the blame on economic situation. But what we should know is that either we plan or not, inflation will always be there. Economic situation will always be there. The control we have is to plan. Have a financial plan that works for you. And just as I mentioned, there are different categories of financial plan. You can have a plan of 5,000 naira monthly, even 1,000 naira monthly. Money market, some money markets will allow minimum of 5,000 naira to start. So we should not put the blame. Some people would say, I want to achieve more. When my income increases, when I start earning big, I'll start saving. You can start small. What matters is consistency. If you are doing 5,000 naira weekly or 5,000 naira monthly, be consistent. 5,000 naira in a year, that's 60,000 naira. Over the period of year plus interest, plus interest becomes big.
Amazing. That's very remarkable. Thank you so much. And I think that is just realistic. Sometimes we think we have the luxury of time, and then not knowing that the time we think we have, before you know it, the time is no longer there. So thank you so much for answering that. So let's look at the lifestyle. You mentioned it partly the other time. So I want you to please talk to us about the lifestyle. So how does lifestyle, and you have mentioned it, in practical time, how does it actually affect, young professionals, and how does this contribute to actually keeping them in the poverty circle level? I don't know if you get the question. Yeah, I'm with you. Oh, okay. I was saying that you mentioned about the lifestyle, how lifestyle actually affect young professionals. So I want you to please help us articulate that point very well, because I believe it's actually a valid point. So how can young professionals avoid falling into trap of peer pressure to keeping themselves in the poverty circle?
Okay, I'm trying to pick it. So I'm trying to bring all of these points together. I think network maybe it's from my end here. So it's okay. But I had lifestyle. Lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay. So for young professionals. So yes, the pressure is there, and it has always been. The pressure is there. But one thing every individual should do is have a personal goal. An individual, have a personal goal, have a system that works. Financial breakthrough, let me put that way, or financial freedom is not just a wish. It has to be something that you planned. That, okay, I want to achieve 100 million in 10 years, for example. I want to achieve 100 million in 10 years. It's not just a wish, except you want to do some jazz and or some manipulations. You have to go back, look at your income.
Okay.
With your present income, is it realistic? If your present income can allow you, when you are setting aside some certain percentage, and you know that you can achieve this based on your personal income, that's one. Of course, someone that wants to achieve 100 million in 10 years, and your income presently is, let's say, 2 million naira monthly, for example, you know that you have to deny yourself so many things. When your friends are buying things, you can't do that. So there are some things that you just have to deny yourself, and that's where delayed gratification is. You must have a financial goal, what you want to achieve. If it is you want to start a business, you want to be on your own after working for maybe 20 years, at age 50, you want to stop working for any other organization, you want to start your own firm. What will it cost? You must count the cost. Then, of course, you must deny yourself. And now, when you deny yourself, there must be a structure, there must be system. Look at different financial plans that are out there. You have retirement plan, you have savings plan, you have money markets. And when you are planning for the future, you want to be sure that you are using a plan that is going to give you definite benefits. You can't say you want to achieve 100 million and you put your money in high risk plan, maybe you say you want to achieve 100 in 10 years time, and you go and invest all your money, you are investing all your money in cryptocurrency. That's a very high risk investment. You should have a portion for high risk investments, but a kind of plan that is going to be definite that, okay, if I'm doing this consistently, I'm going to achieve this 100 million. At that time, crypto may be down and it may favor you, but it will not affect your goal. So setting a goal and knowing yourself of the meaning pleasure and having a system that works, knowing the right plan to invest the money in.
Yeah. Fantastic.
That way.
Fantastic. You know, when you have financial goals, or when you have goals generally, it will be very difficult for you to drift. You know, just like you mentioned earlier on, you know, it will be very easy for you to be focused because you know what you are chasing. And then definitely, in as much as we can't run away from peer pressure, but when you have a definite goal, you're going to know your limits. You're going to know when you are spending off limit. Thank you so much for that wonderful contribution. So if a young person earns their first salary today, what do you think should be their first financial move? We're speaking to people that are just coming in now, just collecting his salary. So what do you think is the first best financial move that an individual should take after receiving his salary?
Okay, so planning is the first step. Planning, in fact, before the money comes in, before you receive that salary, you must have a plan, because when you are employed, you already know how much you'll be getting. You already know how much you'll be paid. So at that point, you should have a plan. Okay, this certain 10% goes to tithes for Christian. You remove your tithes. You want to look at, okay, what are your personal needs? There is a common proportion that people use: 50, 30, 20. 50 for your personal needs, 30 for savings, and 20% for investments. So you want to know that, okay, this 50%, can it actually, this percentage, this proportion is not fixed. It depends on your income. If you know 50% of your income cannot cater for your needs, you may push it up. But one major thing is, from that day one, have a portion for savings. It may be small, but just start. When you start, the energy to increase later will be there. But when there is no structure, I tell you, it will always be wished, oh, by next month, I just need to cover, I just need to take care of these bills. After this bill, I will start next month. Next month will come, another bill will show up. Another bill will always show up. And of course, you know, Nigerian system, culture, friends will start coming, family, because you're now working, you're independent, they expect you to be given. So before all of those external factor comes in, have structure in place.
Amazing. Yeah, that is very helpful. Thank you so much. That's very helpful. Thank you so much for that. So you've answered one of my next question, which is about budgeting, and then it's quite close to planning that you have said. So as a financial expert, so I want to put myself on the spot right now. So how are you going to advise me? Would you advise me to invest first, or you would rather advise me to save first? So I'm coming to you now as a financial expert right now, and let me just put a range to it for the sake of those that are watching, and I also want us to be as practical as possible. Let's say my salary is within the range of 150,000 and 200,000 naira a month. So what will be your best advice for people like me in that category? Is it to save first or to invest first?
Okay, so I would not advise you to invest. It will always be savings. Savings will always come first before investment or before investing, because you need money to invest. So you must start by saving.
Mm.
And you have different categories of savings. You have emergency. You want to create a savings plan for emergency. Let's say income stops for the next 6 months. There must be something that you can fall back on. So savings is number one. So I mentioned earlier when the network failed, I was talking about
Okay.
savings. I said
Okay.
savings will help you. It lay good grounds for investment, for business capital, and or asset acquisition. When you have a good savings, it is then you can talk of investment. Is it what's it called now? All these money markets, is it
OT.
treasury bill, is it
Yeah.
stocks or shares that you want to go into? You need good money. So
Yeah.
savings first. You want to venture into business, you need capital, that's money. You want to buy an
Mm.
asset, acquire an asset, you need funds.
Yeah.
So savings comes first before investment.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, amazing. Thank you very much. Saving first before investing. Yeah, that's reminded me of a video that I saw of a real estate lady that was trying to advertise some of the category of some packages and offers that they have. And to me, I actually think they were actually shading those that really do not have enough money to invest. It was calling the category, it was saying a million, 2 million, the number of plots, someone that have 1 million, 2 million could
Yeah,
get. And when it gets to people that is below 100,000, he only told them that go and save. And when you have saved, you come back and invest in real estate. And I think you
absolutely.
have actually, justified, so to say, because to me, I was actually thinking, yeah, must you now shade them or kind of but practically that is the truth. So thank you so much for
That's it.
bringing clarity to that. So let's quickly talk about what does a simple financial plan for. You've mentioned it also. You've mentioned it, so I wouldn't want to bother you on that. So, how can young African build assets? So let's talk about asset now. How do we build assets instead of earning income alone? So, what are the things that you think as young professionals, what are the things that we can do to ensure that we can start building assets? You mentioned that it is good for us to start early. So, what are the things that we need to do to ensure that we are asset minded and not only, earning? It's good to be earning minded. However, I just wanted to speak more on the importance of building assets at the early stage.
Okay. So assets, I will first say that number one asset is you. You're building yourself. We should build ourselves. It's not just about money. So we should build ourselves. Let's work on ourselves. Let's improve ourselves. I say people of at age 80, they are still very relevant. They are assets because they built themselves. And even just their time is money. You want to take just 5 minutes of their time out of their comfort zone. You pay for it. I was listening to news at the time when I think former governor of Ondo State invited President Obasanjo to his birthday. He said he sent 10,000, is it $10,000 to him just to bring him to his birthday party. Birthday party, just come and celebrate, come and eat and dine, wine and dine. You have to pay to bring this person down. So number one is we ourselves. We should build ourselves. So it's not just about when you start working, that's not the end of it. Build yourself, develop yourself. There are courses that will position us even in a better opportunities. When opportunities come, we take advantage of it. So that is number one, building ourselves. Number two, of course, when money comes in, we've talked about savings. The asset that real estate is there. So real estate is there. You can venture into real estate. You want to acquire land, you want to acquire buildings, real estate is there. There are some other investment plan assets, so to say, maybe gold. But all of these different assets, you require knowledge. You must know much about them But for me, what I just want to pass, the message I want to pass is personal development. It is very, very critical. Personal development. When we become a, a rare asset, a gem, even at old age, we will still be relevant. We will still be relevant. In fact, it is a legacy to pass on to the coming generation. There are some people today, they are no more, but their person is still paving way for for their younger generation, for their children, even the unborn children, the unborn generation, because of who they were. So personal development, being that asset that you can even pass that legacy to the coming generation is very key. And we can all achieve it. It's all about mindset, it's all about setting that goal and remaining
Mm.
focused to achieving it.
Amazing. Amazing. Fantastic. Thank you. Nothing beat personal development. That's so great. As of, I say, a year or 2 years ago, I made a very, I will not call it, it's daring actually, because to me, it's actually a very daring and a very bold step. I decided to commit at least 10% of my earning to learning. It's not easy. It's not gonna be easy. But just like you said, and for the benefit of those that are watching, investment in personal development is never a waste investment, because at long run, it is what will last. Because uh when you invest in yourself, just like you make mention of that, you can actually build a lasting legacy, not just for yourself but for generation that are coming
Yeah.
behind. Thank you so much for articulating that. So I want you to be please practical. Many of us as Africans, particularly if you're from the southwest, you know sometimes I see it as culture, and it's actually a very good one. Sometimes we the youth, we want to surpass, we want to do better than our parents did. We are not saying they did not take care of us. Growing up, we can attest to the fact that our parents give us the best life within their means. They will go all out to ensure that we are catered for. All our school materials, feeding, and whatnot. They actually do their best. But I've noticed the trend among the Yorubas, so to say. I think it's Nigerian and everyone, but I believe that most people from the southwest, they want to do better than what their parent did. So as a financial expert now, what are the things that Africans and young people need to do to ensure that this expectation come to reality? Sometimes it is not a goal that you just set for yourself, but you just realize that I want to do better than I want to raise my children more than my parents raised me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to paint a picture for you so you understand where I'm coming from and where I'm
Mhm.
going in particular. And sometimes you realize that the resources that is available is not making that desire to actually become a reality. So, in a practical term, what are the things that you think young people in this category can do to ensure that as much as they want to give their children a better life, number one, they don't get burnout. Number two, they don't get unnecessarily pressured and put themselves in health risk. So, what will be your take on this, please?
Okay, so this is real life situation,
Yeah.
and it's so unfortunate with the situation of our country. Many people are really pushing,
Yeah.
but the result is not really showing as
Mm,
desired.
mm,
So in situations like this, we should always know our capacity. We should always know our capacity. There's this
mm,
common thing that cut your coat. At the time they will say according to your size, but later you now cut your
mm,
coat according to the material.
mm,
So when you know that this is what you are earning, you
mm,
don't want to compete. What is really challenging in this our present age is not even
mm,
about the income is there, but the
mm,
competition. A
mm,
friend or my neighbor is sending his child to this particular school. I also must
Mm-hmm.
send my child to this kind of school.
Mm,
I must live in VI,
mm,
where you are paying about 5 million annual
mm,
rent. And you know
mm,
that your income, if you gather all of your income together, maybe in a whole year, maybe it's 5 million or even less, then you start to
mm,
take loan. So there are
mm,
some of the things that are eating people up, dipping
mm,
hand into loan, doing
mm,
what they cannot really afford that is beyond
mm.
their capacity.
Yeah.
Sending a child to public school is not, we went to public school,
Mm-hmm.
and today we are doing fine by the grace of God.
Amazing.
So
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
place of you sending your child to public school and you still have
Mm,
a personal relationship with your child. Now, maybe you need to get a home tutor, or you as a
mm,
parent now teaching your child, following up on the studies. That's
mm.
some of the things. You know that you cannot afford this kind of rent, take a lesser one.
Yeah.
And as you grow, things will always change.
Yeah.
Things will always change. That is our story. That is my parents' story. That is my story. Things will always change. Things will always change. And as things are changing, now you can improve. Maybe you were earning big before, then because of loss of job, you are not earning big. The new job you have cannot afford you to send your child to that kind of school again. Change the
Mm,
school. Change the school.
mm,
You just know that my child must do well academically. When my
mm,
child is standing out there, he must perform well.
mm,
In this digital world, there are there are educative materials online. There are educational aids that you can use to help your children at home,
mm,
maybe online on YouTube or any other platform. So the best thing is knowing our level. And
mm,
someone said he will always live below his standard. Many
mm,
people are living above their standard. You
mm,
know, all you can afford is a 2 million naira car. But because of friends, you went to dip your hand into loan, and maybe you are earning 500,000. At the end of the month, bank has removed 300,000. You are going home with 200,000 because you have dipped your hand into loan.
mm.
Loan is another thing that
Yeah.
can
And that entirely sure. Yeah.
that can affect one badly.
Mm,
It will affect
mm,
your personal goal, your financial goal. It will affect the
mm,
whole family, the children.
mm,
So we should try as much as possible to live
mm.
below our standard, to below
Yeah.
our
Thank you.
and we will be able to do one or two things that
Yeah.
will nice.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. So I quickly want to give a shout out to some of those people that actually contribute on this show. Oh, so thank you so much, Okoyemi Famori. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for the support. God bless you. And then right here, she actually identified some of the things you said earlier, and then she said investing, clock it. Thank you so much for clocking it. Thank you so much for stopping by. So if you are still watching, please kindly drop your comment. We would like to showcase what you say and to actually know that we are not alone. We believe this is on YouTube. You can actually go back and watch. But as well, we want to, give you a shout out. We want to identify you. We want to say thank you so much for supporting this. And then I think we still have someone still watching. So please, if you can hear me or if you can hear us, please kindly drop your comment. Thank you so much for that. All right. So, but before we actually wrap, uh, I, I want to crave your indulgence once again that if we can do this on a monthly basis or on, let's say, fortnightly, we can just come up with topics like this and then some other interesting things about finance. I believe it's going to go a long way because I believe, a lot of damage has been done and then it takes more than one financial talk show to undo all the damages. But by the time you make it consistent, by the time people start seeing what you do, according to a Yoruba adage that they say a blacksmith that is eating an armor on the same spot, there's something is actually driving at. So I hope, like I said, we discussed this at backstage, but I want viewers to actually know that uh, you should look forward to something like this, because we believe that 2026 is a year that we must make that smart and that financial move to enjoying financial freedom. All right. So, what is going to be your top five advice? Top five advice for those that are watching us, irrespective of their category, their status. What would be your top five financial advice that you are going to give to anyone out there seeking to end the poverty cycle and to actually become financially independent? Thank you. Over to you.
Okay. Okay. Top five. Okay. Let me say the first one is appreciate yourself. You are doing well. Yeah, you are doing well. Don't always beat yourself down that, oh, you have to do better, you have to do better. So appreciate yourself. Be grateful to God for where you are. And when you are grateful to God, when you are in that state of peace, in that state of gratitude to God, you can see the future. You can see the great things that God has in store for you. So that first one is appreciate yourself. Appreciate yourself. That's number one. Number two, embrace savings. Embrace savings, please. Embrace savings. There is no how we can talk about financial freedom, financial liberation, breaking poverty without talking about savings. If you truly want to be free from financial poverty, saving is critical. Savings is critical. And to save, of course, budgeting is there, tracking your expenses and all that. So that's number two. Number three, delay gratification. We've talked about all of these things, so I'm just pointing them out. Delay gratification. Delay gratification. You can delay the immediate pleasure, you have for now to achieve that long-term goal. And many a time that long-term goal will always give us peace, will bring us to the place of rest. So delay gratification. Don't allow pressure from work, from colleagues, from the immediate environment to push you to do what you should not do, to push you to do what you should not involve yourself in, to buy what you should not buy at the moment. So delay gratification. Number four, I think that's number four, right? Number four, okay, I would say let us embrace integrity and honesty. In this our present age, those things are very scarce. Integrity. Integrity is very key. So please, we see what the world is becoming, but let me use this platform, let me use this medium to join us, to encourage every one of us to embrace honesty in your business, in your career. Embrace honesty, integrity, faithfulness, hard work. Be hardworking, be diligent at what you do, and be prayerful. So I'm taking all of this together. Be diligent, be hardworking, be prayerful. And the last one, I would say, if you know your income is not enough, you can always add side hustles. Don't let us be shy. Young people these days, we just want that package job where you just sit inside AC. You'll see many people sitting inside AC. How much is the salary at the end of the month? But after work, you have a car, you don't want to do boats, you don't want to do Uber, and you burn your fuel from home to your workplace, and you know that at the end of the month, the money is not enough. There is no big deal using your car for boats. I've seen bank managers doing boats. So you have a target, you have a goal. It is not something you will continue to do, but it's just for you to achieve that your goal. So don't let us be shy. We young people, we just want everything to be packaged. You don't want your friend to know that you are doing this kind of job. No, if that opportunity is coming and you know it's going to fetch you money and is a decent job, embrace it. You can't tell what will come out of it. So I think that's all I will. I have to be.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's wonderful and remarkable. Thank you so much. I still want to hear from you. Yeah, do we have further contribution? Okay, I think we have Olufemi Aotaya. Whoa, whoa, whoa. These are big brother. Amazing. Thank you so much. Side Ozu. Wow. Thank you so much for dropping by. Thank you so much for your wonderful contribution. We are glad to have you contributed to this discussion. Thank you so much. All right. So, as a financial expert, I deliberately, will I say deliberately? Yeah, kind of. Uh, for people that want to scale that their finance, I'm talking to the elite, so to say, those that are educated, just like you've actually give us the tiers and layers as how poverty affects the African youth. So what would be your top three financial book? People that love to read. So, what would be your top three financial book? What books will you recommend for those that want to actually scale their finance?
Uh, okay, you're just putting me on spot here. Okay, so
Apologies for that.
the only book I read on the finance, I'm more of sales person. So
Okay,
recently I've been reading
okay,
books on sales, how to close sales, how to
yeah,
scale
yeah.
resistance.
That's part of it. That's part of it also. It's also part of it. It's part of it. It's still just like you mentioned earlier. It's the part of the personal development. So, what would be your go-to? If not three, which one do you like best? Or which one do you think they will find helpful?
Okay, I think there is this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I've read it
Yeah.
before, and it talks about
Mm,
savings. It talks about the importance of savings,
mm.
importance of investing, and all that. So I think that book is common and it's very educating. So
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you
that would
so
be my living on it.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, what will be your final word on the program? What will be your final word on this program?
My final word, I think I wrote
Yeah.
something down here. So I'm just going
Okay.
to read it as I have it
Yeah.
typed here. Okay, it said, avoiding the poverty circle doesn't start with a big salary. It
Mm.
starts with small, consistent choices. So it's not about
Like.
big salary. Maybe I have
Mm.
mentioned certain figure earlier. It's not
Mm.
about those figures. It's not about big figures. It's about
Mm.
small. It's about consistent choices. You make a choice
Mm.
today, stay with it, be consistent. And it says when these habits replace reactive financial behavior. So when you have these habits, when you are consistent, it replaces your reactive behavior. When you are going out, you want to grab this, you want to grab that. An
Mm.
entire generation can rewire its destiny. So you want to
Amazing.
change the story,
Amazing. Yeah.
be consistent with your choices.
Amazing. Now let's take it calmly. Those are profound ones. I would love you to please take it once again, please. I would love you to take it once again because I'm going to pull some of this content out and share a bit of it for people to come back and watch the remaining video. So I would like you to please articulate that word once again. It's very powerful. So what will be your last word on this program once again?
Okay, it will be to avoid the poverty circle. It
Mm,
doesn't start with a big salary. It
mm,
starts with small, consistent choices.
mm,
And when these habits replace reactive financial behavior, an
mm.
entire generation can rewire its destiny.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Meaning that our choices can help us rewire an entire destiny and generation. Thank you so much. And it's on that note that we are going to bring this program to our end. And we want to say a very big thank you to our guest, Mr. Ayanwale Olajide, is a financial expert. Thank you so much for coming on this program. Thank you for those wonderful thoughts of yours. Thank you for sharing premium value on this show. And we believe that when we call you next time, you're going to oblige us and you're going to grace our program. My name is Fashion Mike Olaito, and this is the Growth Code podcast. Our desire is to help you move from point A to point B. So, like, come your way next week with another guest discussing another valuable information that can help you to live a productive life. Remember that your choices does affect the generation that comes behind. Please make positive and lasting choices that will leave lasting legacy for people that are coming behind. I'm Fashmo Michael once again. Have a beautiful evening.